Hi all, Ms. Z here, and today we have translations using arrow notation. So I'll always have the standard up here and the essential statement where you can write it down in your notes. Our essential statement for this lesson is I can translate a figure using arrow notation on a coordinate plane. So let's look back and see and remember what a translation actually is. So that's when you move the pre-image along a straight line. All you're doing is you're taking your image and then moving it, okay? So, some things to remember. When you're working with a coordinate plane, you have an ordered pair x comma y. You know that when you look at the x, you're always moving left or right. You're not going up or down. Okay, for the x, you're moving right or left. The plus is a positive or a plus, which means you go right. The minus is a negative, which means you go left. Same thing for the y. The plus is a positive, so you go up, and the minus is a negative, so you go down. So x is only right or left, y is only up or down. Now, what is actual arrow notation? So, arrow notation means you take your ordered pair, x comma y, and it goes to x plus a comma y plus b, where a and b is just any number. Don't worry about that. It'll be any number. So what we're going to do right now is we'll do an example, because that's pretty much how you learn. You learn by doing examples. I can talk and talk and talk as much as I want, but you won't learn anything. Maybe you'll hear it, but now we're going to do an example, and hopefully we get it right. Okay, so here we go. I drew it out for you. I'm actually going to try to keep the hint up there. Okay, here we have our triangle, QRS. And I wrote out the ordered pairs just so you can draw them. It's easier for you to draw your triangle and plot the points when they're written out instead of trying to see, oh my goodness, what did she do? What did she do? So Q is 1 comma negative 2, R is 3 comma 0, and S is 4 comma negative 5. And our example states, translate triangle QRS from your ordered pair x comma y to x minus 5, y plus 2. So what does that even mean? Okay, so remember this table up here, our hint? We look at the x. So we have x minus 5. In our table, when we look at the x, we look at the minus right here. The minus means go left. So I'm actually going to go ahead and rewrite this and say left 5, because that's what the minus means. Now, if it was a plus 5, I would be going right 5, but it's a minus. So we're done with the x, and then we look at the y. So the y says y plus 2. So going down over here where my y is, the plus means go up. So I'm going to rewrite this and put up 2. Now, if that is easier for you to do, go ahead and do that. Rewrite your arrow notation using words and then translate your image. That is totally fine. So we're going to go ahead and start with Q. And I'm going to go left 5 because that's what my rule says. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and plot my point right here. Oh wait, what did I forget to do? Again, okay, so all I did was I went left 5, but I'm not done with my rule. I still have to go up 2. So let me erase that and plot it right here. 1, 2, and label, label, label. You're probably like, oh, Missy just wanted to show off her new erasable pens. Yeah, probably. No worries. That's okay. You guys are used to it. And then let's go ahead and move on to R. So I'm going to go left 5, 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2. Did you notice how I just skipped over the origin when I counted first? Yeah, don't do that. The origin is still counted as a unit, okay? And then S, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, S prime. Now what happens if you plot your point or if you forget to do part of the rule? Well, you'll notice right away that your shape looks different. You don't want it to look different. You want it to look the same, but somewhere else on your graph. So when you go ahead and connect the points, you see that it's the same shape and the same size. It's just moved on the coordinate plane. Now another way to do this, let's say you just have the points and you're like, well, I don't want to draw it out and then graph it and then use the rule and then translate it. You can use your arrow notation from the beginning. This says x minus 5. So all you do to get q prime is do the x minus 5. So what's 1 minus 5? Negative 4. And then for the y, it's y plus 2. So what's negative 2 plus 2? That's 0. Let's double check. Is q prime really at negative 4 comma 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Yes, it is. So it works that way as well. So let me go ahead and double check all the rest of these. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2, and 0 plus 2 is 2. Is r prime at negative 2, 2? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, it is. How awesome is that? So for S, we have 4 minus 5, negative 1, and negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Yes, it is. How perfect. Now, this might be confusing to some because we have a little trouble with negatives, but that's okay. You know, a calculator is your friend. You can use a calculator if you want to do so. But this is how you use arrow notation when you're translating an image. Now, there's one more question that may be asked, and it's this. Okay, what if we get something like x comma y goes to x comma y minus 3? Well, that just means the x doesn't go anywhere, but the y goes down 3. And the same thing is if it's x minus 3 comma y, the x moves and the y stays. And there we have translations using arrow notations. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Pause the video, rewatch it, take the notes, write down the vocabulary, or ask me anything in Google Classroom as well.